Today, we're going to learn about the present perfect continuous. But first, let's revise a few things. In Unit 37, we studied the present continuous. Look at an example. I am working. We use the present continuous to talk about actions that are happening at the moment of speaking. Let's also look forward a bit. In Unit 109, we will study the past continuous. For example, I was working. We used past continuous to talk about actions that happened at a specific moment in the past. Now, let's concentrate on today's tense, the present perfect continuous. We use the present perfect continuous to talk about an action which began in the past but is still happening. It has been raining since 7 o'clock, and it is still raining. The present perfect continuous is formed by using has or have plus been plus a verb in the ing form. Here is another example. He has been studying English for 3 years. Remember that been is in the past. It's the past participle of the verb to be. Whenever we talk about a continuous tense, we always use the verb to be. Now, I'll give you a very important tip. Let's look at the present perfect simple versus the present perfect continuous. Look at these two examples. They've lived there for 20 years. They've been living there for 20 years. The first sentence is in the present perfect simple, and the second is in the present perfect continuous. Both sentences are correct and mean the same thing, but it's better to use the present perfect continuous when the action is still going on. Now, let's look at questions with the present perfect continuous. Most frequently, we use the present perfect continuous in questions to ask how long something has been happening. Look at these examples. How long have you been working at the bank? Since January. How long has it been snowing? All morning. How long have they been living in Spain? 3 years. Notice that we put the auxiliary has or have before the subject to form questions. Let's compare these examples. The first is in the simple past, and the second in the present perfect continuous. How long did you live in Germany? I lived in Germany for a year. Here, he is not living in Germany now. How long have you been living in Germany? I have been living in Germany for a year. And here, he is still living in Germany now. Let's look at the present perfect continuous negative. As with the present perfect, negative sentences are formed by adding the word not after the auxiliary have or has. Remember, the contraction of has not is hasn't, and the contraction of have not is haven't. I haven't been studying long. I haven't been living in that house more than a year. Finally, let's look at some more examples of the present perfect continuous. Look at these examples of the present perfect continuous. How long have you been reading the Times? How long have they been collecting stamps? How long have you been taking this medicine? I've been working here for 10 years. She's been studying French since January. We've been traveling around the world for 9 months. They've been looking for a flat for 6 weeks. He's been writing that report since Tuesday. You have been learning a lot of English recently.